stank.
Hey guys, so I thought I would do a bit of a different sort of video today. This is a bit of like a bonus video. It's obviously not like a vlog or anything like that. I don't know why I'm saying like, obviously, like, you know that. I figured since we've left North Thailand now, I would do like a bit of a debrief of like how much we spent, were we on budget, over budget, under budget, whatever. Just talk about kind of our spending habits, I guess, and also the route we took and, you know, places we recommend, and maybe places that you could skip if you're on maybe a tighter time frame, just stuff like that really. Let me know if you like this kind of video, because I was thinking of maybe doing it after each place that we leave, because yeah, I just think this would be really helpful to look at, and obviously now we have more perspective now that we've now left North Thailand. There's definitely things I would have done differently, and yeah, so I'm gonna just get started now. So we spent quite a long time in North Thailand. It was obviously the place that we started. We spent 39 days there total, so we used almost the full 45 days of our visa that you get when you arrive in Thailand. We flew into Bangkok, and then we kind of jutted in between quite a lot of the different like cities in North Thailand. I wouldn't recommend the route that we took. The reason we took the route that we did was because of Christmas and New Year. We knew we wanted to be in Chiang Mai for that, so we kind of had to work our journey of North Thailand around that, which meant that we definitely spent a bit longer in some places than we probably would have done. I would recommend personally maybe about 3 weeks in North Thailand, I reckon, or like 3.5. You definitely don't need the amount of time me and Tom spent there, but like I said, we wanted to spend Christmas and New Year there, so we left on the 26th of November, so that meant obviously over a month in North Thailand so that we could do that. So I'm going to talk about how much we spent. I've literally written it on the back of this little receipt because we have no paper, obviously. So, and I'm filming on my phone, and it's all the information's on my phone. So this is each, obviously, like this isn't together. I'm doing this just separately, like just what I spent, but we've split all our costs. So it's like casting couch as well. These are actually really comfy though. Anyway, yeah. So the amount of money that we spent is like just me personally, and then Tom would have also spent this himself because we just split the costs evenly of everything. So we spent £1,095 each in 39 days, which I think is pretty reasonable. That equates to about £28 a day. So yeah, I think that's pretty good going. Our budget that we're trying to stick to is between £1,000 and £1,200 a month, and obviously we spent over a month in North Thailand, so definitely under budget there. It is very cheap. I did split it up into like what we spent, like each category basically. So for food we spent £315.40. That was our biggest cost of all time, even like over accommodation, which is quite funny. Accommodation we spent £293.74. That was pretty much only staying in private rooms as well, and private bathrooms, so I would say that's really good for 39 days. We literally stayed in one hostel, so, and that was over New Year, and that wasn't even the cheapest place we stayed. That's why we don't like staying in hostels, guys. It's literally, if you're traveling as a couple or as a pair, or just basically not a solo traveller, it does not work out cheaper to stay in hostels. I'm telling you that now. At least not in North Thailand, or we're in Laos now and it hasn't been cheaper in Laos either, so. Honestly, if you can get a private room, I'd recommend it. Unless you like hostels, I guess some people probably do, but it's not for us, it's not for us. Then there was one that was just like ETC, so it was basically anything that didn't come under the following categories. I will be honest, most of this is alcohol, because for some reason there's not like a drinks category on the app that I use. And that was £284.69. There's probably a couple of other things that encapsulates, but I can't think off the top of my head now what that would be. Just anything like random, I guess. Sightseeing, £87.13. That was mostly just like tickets to temples, any tours that we did, stuff like that. So cheap for 39 days, and we did like everything we wanted to do as well. Transport was £82.34. Again, that is so cheap, because we got the minivan in between each place, but it was honestly so cheap in North Thailand, like to get in between each place, like even cheaper than Laos. And Laos has been cheaper in most of the ways, I would say, but like for transport, Thailand was so cheap. It was so easy to get around, especially like North Thailand. Obviously this is not applicable to South Thailand. I know South Thailand is much more expensive, so you know, looking forward to that. And then shopping, £31.93, so not a lot there. That would just be like stupid stuff like elephant pants, and I bought a new hat, and you know, just shit like that really. So yeah, I think that's pretty good going on the spending. You could obviously do that for a bit cheaper. I would say we did pretty well with money though, but that wasn't like, we weren't trying to skimp on anything. We ate in restaurants, I would say the majority of the time. Still local food a lot of the time, but like not street food necessarily, especially after our food poisoning fiasco. And then, again, like I said, we stayed in private rooms pretty much every place we were. Did any tours that we wanted to do. Yes, there were more you could have done that maybe would have bumped up your price a little bit, but yeah, we pretty much did everything we wanted to do. You could obviously do it for a lot more expensive. There were a lot bougier places you can stay. Our budget for a hotel room that we've kind of stuck to is no more than £10 a night each, so £20 a night. Quick maths there. And we haven't really spent that anywhere. It's usually been between like £6 and £8 each a night, so yeah. But you probably could, there's definitely places you could save money, you know, and if you don't drink, that's going to save you quite a significant amount of money. But we do drink, and you know, it's not something I'm willing to give up. So we talk about the route that we took, and how long I recommend you stay in each place, and like maybe pros. I'm so sorry if you can hear these kids in the swimming pool. They're honestly a bit annoying. I don't know if I'm not ready to have kids because I couldn't deal with the shouting all the time. Anyways, yeah, talk about pros and cons of each place and where I recommend you go to. So we left on the 26th of November, and we flew into Bangkok, and we stayed there for way too long. So we stayed there from the 26th of November to the 4th of December. I have spoken about this before, but the reason we stayed in Bangkok for so long was because we were planning on getting some vaccinations while we were out there. We missed our appointment and never ended up doing it, but that we'd already booked our flight out of Bangkok into Chiang Mai. So we couldn't escape.
Can I escape? We cannot come out?
I would recommend staying in Bangkok for 3 nights, maybe 4 nights maximum. Especially if it's the place you're flying into, because your first day is kind of a write-off anyway. I would say you need at least 2 full days, potentially 3 if you've got the time. The things I would recommend doing are the floating market and train street tour. We both really enjoyed that. That was really fun, and that is kind of like a day excursion because it's quite far out of like actual Bangkok. There's some really cool shopping centres like the MBK Centre in Bangkok. There's also some cool parks. Obviously the food is great. The nightlife is great if you're into that sort of thing. Koh Sam Road, there's also the little gay quarter. I can't remember what that's called, but it's where like the Stranger Bar is with all the drag queens. Also very cool. But yeah, Bangkok is very overwhelming. We were definitely there for way too long. We knew that though at the time. So do not recommend staying there as long as we did. But yeah, we did it for a reason, and it didn't always work out, but what can you do? So then we went from Bangkok to Chiang Mai on the 4th of December and only stayed there for 2 nights till the 7th. We were kind of just doing that as a bit of a filter. We knew we were coming back to Chiang Mai, so we didn't care that we were only there for a couple of nights. It was kind of just to mooch and explore the city. And quite conveniently, so me and Tom both ended up getting food poisoning then. So as much as we hated it, like it was probably the best time for it to happen because we weren't missing out on somewhere because we were coming back to Chiang Mai. So it was annoying, obviously, but we kind of ended up just being wiped out for that period of time. So I'm gonna not talk about Chiang Mai yet, I'll do it when I come back to Chiang Mai. So then from there, we went from Chiang Mai to Pai. We got the minivan, recommend that. It was 200 baht, so cheap, and quite a nice minivan actually. So yeah, and we stayed in Pai for 10 days. And that might sound like a long time, but honestly, I would recommend that amount of time. I would recommend at least a week if you've got the time. It is such a cool place. We were not bored at all staying there for 10 days. There is so much to do and see, and also it's such a nice little community when you're in Pai. Like people call it like a pie hole because people get there and they just don't leave. So most people I spoke to were only planning like 3 nights and ended up staying at least 7. So that tells you all you need to know about Pai. Really cool to hire a scooter if you can do that. I obviously cannot, but I've heard that it's really cool to do. There's really cool tours you can do. There's the Big Buddha, the Bamboo Bridge, the Chinese Village. Honestly, if you're not doing it as a tour, I would say miss it. It's a bit odd. It gives off a bit like uncanny valley vibes, to be honest. And I would also skip the waterfall. I can't remember the name of it now. I'll put it on screen. It was okay, but if you're not on a tour and you're picking and choosing where to go, honestly, just I'd skip it. It wasn't an amazing waterfall. Viewpoints to see, I would definitely recommend going there. I would recommend the Pi Canyon for sunset and also the Two Huts Cafe for sunset. Both are really cool. We did both of them. It's very easy to get to and from if you don't ride a scooter as well, because all in the centre there's loads of little like pick-up places that are just taking you to and from. So that was really cool. And Pi is also stupidly cheap. Like, I would say probably the cheapest place in North Thailand that we went anyway. Okay, so then after we left Pi on the 17th of December, we then went back to Chiang Mai just for a night, because you have to go back to Chiang Mai to get to Chiang Rai. So yeah, again, that was just a minor thing. And then from Chiang Mai, we went to Chiang Rai and we're there from the 18th to the 22nd. I can't figure out how many nights that is. 18 to 99, 4 nights in Chiang Rai. Again, this was probably a bit too long to spend in Chiang Rai. Again, we did know that though. Like I said, we were planning it around Christmas and New Year, which kind of threw our plans off a little bit. We didn't want to literally spend like 2 whole weeks in Chiang Mai, so we were like, well, we may as well try and split it up as much as possible. But yeah, you do not need that long in Chiang Rai. I would recommend 2 nights probably in Chiang Rai. There's not much going on in the actual city itself. It's mostly like the temples around Chiang Rai, so the white temple, the blue temple. I think there's also a black temple, but I read that that's just a museum. I don't know, we didn't actually go to the black temple. There's that cool cafe, there's the big Buddha, actually that was really cool, where you could go inside that sounds strange, Buddha and stuff. Yeah, that was actually really cool. That was actually one of my favourites, probably. The white temple was my favourite, then that big Buddha, and then the blue temple, which honestly was a bit underwhelming. One thing I will recommend is at the white temple, like behind, like if you go around the corner when you leave, there's a gallery that shows the guy that designed it, all of his paintings and stuff, like throughout like, I don't know, 20, 30 years. And it's so cool. That was like one of our favourite parts of that temple. And there's also a shop at the end, and we just bought little postcards of our favourite like paintings. So really recommend doing that. Nights is definitely enough. Even, I think 1 night is too short to go anywhere, because then me and Tom prefer to travel slower. So we did like the white temple in 1 day, the Buddha in 1 day, and like the blue temple and the cafes and stuff in another day. So you could definitely fit it all into 1 day, but you'd probably be a bit rushed. So I'd rather split it into like 2 days. But from Chiang Rai, we then went to Chiang Mai, and this was actually when we were seeing Chiang Mai and actually getting to experience what Chiang Mai had to offer. So we were there from the 22nd of December until the 3rd of January. Again, you do not need this long in Chiang Mai. We were doing it for Christmas and New Year. I've said that so many times now. I would recommend maybe like 5 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights in Chiang Mai. We were obviously very bored by the end of it, but I'm not blaming Chiang Mai for that. We were there for too long. Christmas and New Year were really cool there. I'm glad we did, especially New Year, like with all the lanterns and stuff. Like, I'm so glad we got to see that, and I am glad that we spent it in Chiang Mai. But yeah, this route would not be the way we would have done it if it wasn't Christmas and New Year. I'll quickly touch on what we actually would have done in a minute. But yeah, I reckon 4 or 5 nights in Chiang Mai. There's a lot of cool temples like the Doi Sif there and the Wat Phalat temples there, really cool to see. Again, cool like shopping centres. The night markets of the weekend I absolutely recommend. If you plan it so you're there over like the Saturday and Sunday period, that market is the best market we've been to so far. It was really cool, massive, very unique and different compared to a lot of the other ones. We did a cooking class. Yeah. We did a cooking class in Chiang Mai, which was really cool. Really recommend it. Obviously the elephants, I think like everybody does that in Chiang Mai. That was an incredible experience. Definitely does leave a bit of a weird taste in your mouth. Actually also the Grand Canyon water park, that is sick. Definitely recommend doing that. It's just like a really cool inflatable course. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. I think that is everything I can think of off the top of my head right now. The way I would recommend doing North Thailand personally is fly into Bangkok, spend a few nights in Bangkok, like 3 maybe 4, I don't know. Then we would have gone to Chiang Mai and actually done Chiang Mai there and then, done everything we wanted to do in Chiang Mai, and then go to Pai. Probably spend still the same amount of time in Pai. I probably still would have spent like 10 days there. Probably only would have done about 5 days in Chiang Mai, and then from Pai do Chiang Rai, maybe only 3 or 4 days there again, and then from Chiang Rai to Laos, which is the way I would recommend doing it. Still had an absolutely wicked time. Definitely don't sleep on North Thailand. I think some people do it for like a few days and then head straight down to the south. I get it, if you do have a limited amount of time, you want to be on the beaches and the parties and stuff, like, obviously, but definitely don't. I would give it at least 10 days. I would skip Chiang Rai if you don't have much time, honestly. Beautiful temples, but not much else. But yeah, I hope you like this video, guys. I'm sorry if it's a bit long and all over the place. I really enjoyed like tracking everything. So yeah, if you want me to keep doing this for like every country, then let me know. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and follow along on our Instagrams, because we post quite a lot on there, especially like on our stories and highlights and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that. I'll catch you in the next one.